I had no intention to speak today because I've been saying so much about the late leader emeritus, Sirlester, on my radio shows. But I feel moved by the expressions of my fellow colleague parliamentarians. And so I want to bring a level of closure to my experience with Sir Lester Bird, in particular at a moment when I demonstrated political juvenile behavior. I can say for sure that since we are short on one speaker, when I looked at it, I said I should have spoken. But I'm glad that you have given me the chance to speak, sir. I'm going to do this quickly. I'll exercise a level of brevity here. Mr. Speaker, the House, the Parliament, is the only place where I think I can use as the sole repository of official public record. Yesterday, and I just want to preface what I'm going to say before I go further. Yesterday, I was at a pharmacy with my wife, who is ill. And while standing there, a young man looked at me, apparently he knows me, and he put on a recording that where I said I was going to kick down the podium. So I want to use this House as the sole repository of official public record to apologize again. And this is not the first time I'm doing this. I've said this oftentimes. Mr. Speaker, I had the opportunity to speak to Sirlester a few months before he passed. Prior to that, I went for therapy at a doctor's office, and I met him there. We spoke about my upbringing over the years. And one of the things that I noticed about Sirlester is that he held no malice towards me. He spoke about family, because I don't know how many in the house here knows that I was raised in the house of Sir V.C. Bird. My aunt was married to V. Bird II. So I was very much present at Friars Hill with the late V.C. Bird, Senior, Junior, and also with Sirlester. So I want to close the chapter, so to speak, and I want this to be in Hansa, because there are many people who attack me because I've made a political decision to move from supporting, not a member, supporting one political party and coming to the Antigua-Barbuda Labour Party, thanks to our good leader, as a member, as a proud member, as a matter of fact. When I spoke about Sirlester being knighted, it was not coming from the heart, and I've said this before. It wasn't from the heart, but I was egged on. And I'm closing the chapter today, specifically to clear the air so that there will be no nuances, no innuendos, or anybody interfering with me, to the point where I want them to understand that Sirlester has been an uncle to me. And this is what he called me. He called me nephew. I've received many messages from the late Sirlester through former Senator Guy Yearwood. When I came to this house, there were praises that came from Sirlester. I spoke with him on many occasions. As a matter of fact, I can recall one day when I first came to the house, after speaking, I got a call from him, and we spoke, and he actually commended me. When I spoke about the Neva Street Pier, when I spoke about the port infrastructure, which some political parties never made contribution in terms of our development where that is concerned. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to say again, publicly, what happened was basically a moment of political immaturity, egged on by a number of people from that party that I came from as a supporter. And I want to make it clear, lucidly clear. The reality is, I have matured politically, and I've reached the point of my maturity that I can stand here as a man and say that not only a man, but a Rasta man. And let the entire House know and the entire public of Antigua and Barbuda know that Sirlester Bird was family, and I respect him. As a matter of fact, when I made the statement, he called me up a few days after, and he said to me, "Nephew, let me say this to you. You were raised under my hands. Do not disrespect me, because you are not like that. That is not you. That is not your true behavior. Do not go back and let people use you for their selfish gain." And so I listened. My wife, as a matter of fact, was very upset with me. And so we reached the point where Sirlester basically said to me, "You are forgiven. You have been forgiven. I have forgiven you." And I knew that that wasn't coming from you.